Hello. So the game updated this week, but as usual, the important pieces were the ones they glossed over. So one of the things I didn't bother to mention, they unlocked 50 more inventory slots. Pretty nice. But more importantly, they allowed us to rotate our bases. This is really, really powerful, and it finally gives bases a reason to exist, because now bases can be a lot more interesting than ships when it comes to the design of the base. Now, because each of these bases is on a separate grid, you still have to worry about power and stuff like that, but that's not necessarily a disadvantage. Let me go ahead and show you this very simple prototype I built. You land here, and then you pass into this area here, which is a processing room, and then you pass into the base proper, which is back here. And you can see that I've got one set of landing bays for my military ships and another set of landing bays for the civilian ships. So you can do a lot of stuff here, and you can have armor that's at a strong angle, and then you can have layered armor where half of it is at a different angle. So for example, if I were to bring out this block here, I could create double layer armor, which is actually angled in different directions. And I can even dense it, make it real dense by overlapping, because these are very forgiving. See? So that would be a pretty strong piece of armor, and since they are not ships, they don't bounce off of each other or vibrate or any of that nonsense. However, even that's just the beginning, because now it's possible to reduce all of our machinery by one block. Previously, if you wanted to run a piston, you would have to do it very carefully, and you'd either have to use a specialized block to reduce the width of the block, or you'd have to have a gap of 3 blocks. Now, however, you can have a gap of 2 blocks by just carefully offsetting one of your space stations by half a block. They didn't mention that you could do that in the update. In the update, they did not say that you could actually move these space stations around, you know, micrometer by micrometer. They just kind of made me think that it was still an integer block, just rotated. But this is very powerful because it lets you do a lot of machinery toys that you would have had a very hard time doing before. You can do very heavy doors, you know, armor doors and stuff like that, without having to rely entirely on less than 1 block wide panels. In addition, this machinery is good because you never have to worry about it fusing with anything. So if this was a merge block machine, which I do quite a lot of in my spare time, I wouldn't ever have to worry about this merge block machine accidentally merging with this station over here. Even if they were within a micrometer, they wouldn't merge together because they're not on the same grid. But they're both station grid objects, so they're both super strong and tough and never move. I thought I would mention these capabilities since they didn't really talk about them at all in the update. They didn't really mention anything about why you'd want to tilt your base. And yeah, tilting your base so that it points directly at the sun for solar purposes, obviously a good idea, but interweaving your bases is something they probably didn't think of. This allows you to have multiple base grids, and very unusual angles, and very tight machinery. That's it.